The doorbell rang like a distant echo from a life long forgotten, piercing the heavy silence of Evelyn's empty house. At 90 years old, she sat alone in her faded armchair, staring at the single slice of store-bought cake on the table, its candle unlit because who was there to sing for? With trembling hands, she rose, her bones protesting every step toward the door, where a young man in a crisp uniform held a bouquet of wilting flowers, her only delivery on this forsaken birthday. "Ma'am, these are for you," the delivery man said, his voice kind but hurried, as he extended the bouquet. Evelyn's eyes, clouded with age but sharp with desperation, locked onto his face. He was about the age her son would have been, tall, with dark hair and a gentle smile that reminded her of lost summers. "Please," she whispered, her voice cracking like dry leaves underfoot. "It's my birthday today, my 90th, and I'm all alone. Would you pretend to be my son? Just for a little while?" The young man, his name tag read Alex, froze, the bouquet dangling in his grip. He glanced at his watch, then back at her frail form in the doorway, her housecoat hanging loosely on her withered frame. The city outside buzzed with indifferent life, but here, in this threshold, time seemed to halt. I don't know," Alex stammered, his route forgotten. But something in her bottomless well of loneliness tugged at him. He stepped inside, the door clicking shut behind him, sealing them in a fragile pact. Evelyn led him to the living room, where faded photographs lined the walls like ghosts of happier days. "His name was Michael," she said, pointing to a yellowed picture of a boy with the same dark hair as Alex. "He left when he was 18. Said he needed to find himself. That was 72 years ago. Never came back." Alex sat awkwardly on the edge of the sofa, the bouquet now resting on the coffee table. He wasn't sure what to say. His own life was a whirlwind of deliveries, student loans, and a girlfriend waiting at home. But as Evelyn poured him a cup of tea with shaking hands, he felt the weight of her isolation settle over him like a shroud. "Tell me about him," Alex ventured, trying to play along. "What was Michael like?" Evelyn's face lit up, a spark igniting in her dim eyes. "Oh, he was full of dreams. Wanted to be a writer, you know. We'd sit right here, and he'd read me his stories, adventures about far-off lands. But life got in the way." Her voice trailed off, and she dabbed at her eyes with a handkerchief. As the afternoon wore on, Evelyn shared fragments of her past. The husband who died too young in a factory accident, the daughter lost to illness, and Michael, the last thread, snapped by youthful rebellion. Alex listened, nodding, occasionally interjecting with made-up memories to fill the role. "I remember that old swing in the backyard," he said tentatively. "You pushed me so high I thought I'd touch the sky." Evelyn laughed at a sound so rare it startled even her. "Yes, and you'd beg for one more push. Oh, Michael, I've missed you so." Alex's phone buzzed in his pocket. His boss, no doubt, but he silenced it. For the first time that day, Evelyn wasn't alone. They shared the cake, him blowing out the candle after she made a wish she wouldn't reveal. "Wishes are for keeping," she said with a wink. But as the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the room, Alex felt a pang of guilt. This wasn't real. He was just a stranger in a uniform. Yet, in her eyes, he saw gratitude blooming like the flowers he'd delivered. "Tell me why you left," Evelyn said suddenly, her tone shifting to quiet accusation. Alex blinked, caught off guard. "I mean, Michael, why did you go and never come back?" He hesitated, scrambling for words. I was young, Mom. Scared. Thought the world had more to offer." The lie tasted bitter, but it seemed to soothe her. The conversation flowed deeper, Evelyn recounting wartime hardships, the joy of raising children amid scarcity, and the crushing silence after they were gone. Alex, in turn, shared bits of his own life, his dreams of becoming a teacher, the struggles with his absent father blurring the lines between pretense and reality. By evening, as rain began to patter against the windows, Evelyn reached for an old album. "Look at these," she said, flipping through pages of sepia-toned memories. Alex leaned in, genuinely captivated by the stories woven into each image. That's when the twist came, not a thunderclap, but a subtle revelation. As they pored over the photos, Alex spotted a familiar face in one, a young man who looked eerily like his grandfather. "Wait," he murmured, his heart racing. "This man here, that's my grandpa. He told stories about a woman named Evelyn." Evelyn's hand froze on the page. What did you say? Alex pulled out his wallet, showing a photo of his family. My last name is Hargrove. Grandpa was Michael Hargrove. He changed his name after leaving home, started over. He passed away last year, but he always regretted not coming back. Tears streamed down Evelyn's face as the pieces connected. Alex wasn't pretending was her grandson, unknowingly delivered to her door by fate. The delivery wasn't just flowers, it was closure, a bridge across generations. They embraced, sobs mingling with laughter. Grandma, Alex whispered, the word feeling right. Evelyn held him tight, her loneliness shattering like glass. But the night wasn't over. As they talked more, Alex learned of Evelyn's hidden strength, the charities she'd supported anonymously, the letters she'd written to Michael that were returned unopened. In turn, he promised to bring his family next time, to fill the house with life again. As Alex finally prepared to leave, Evelyn pressed a locket into his hand. This was your grandfather's. Keep it. He nodded, overwhelmed by the unexpected bond. Driving away, Alex glanced back at the house, its lights warm against the rain. For Evelyn, this birthday wasn't the end, it was a beginning. Yet, deeper emotions stirred. Alex realized his own life had been adrift, deliveries a metaphor for fleeting connections. Meeting Evelyn, his grandmother, awakened a sense of roots, of legacy. The next day, Alex returned, not as a delivery man, but as family. He brought photos, stories, and his mother Evelyn's long-lost granddaughter. The reunion was tearful, filled with apologies and forgiveness. Evelyn's house, once a tomb of memories, buzzed with voices. They celebrated belatedly, cake and all. In the midst of it, Evelyn felt alive, her heart mending stitch by stitch. But life, ever unpredictable, introduced another layer. During the gathering, an old neighbor dropped by Mrs. Clara, a sprightly 80-year-old with a cane and a sharp tongue. Evelyn, dear, I heard voices. What's all this? Clara, it turned out, had her own secrets. She'd known Michael back in the day, had even helped him leave town after a youthful mistake, a petty theft born of desperation. I never told you, Clara confessed, because I thought it would break you more. This twist reframed everything. Michael's departure wasn't just rebellion, but shame. Evelyn, instead of anger, felt compassion surge. We all make mistakes, she said, hugging Clara. The revelation deepened the family's understanding, turning pain into empathy. As days passed, Alex integrated Evelyn into his life. He helped her digitize old photos, sharing them online where distant relatives connected. Evelyn, in turn, imparted wisdom lessons on resilience, love's endurance. One evening, sitting on the porch, Evelyn said, "Loneliness is a thief, but kindness returns what was stolen." Alex nodded, his perspective forever changed. The story wove on, threads of humanity binding them. Evelyn's 90th year became her most vibrant, proving that connections, even forged in pretense, could heal profound wounds. In quiet moments, Evelyn reflected on her Lithia tapestry of loss and unexpected grace. Alex, too, found purpose, quitting deliveries to pursue teaching, inspired by her stories. Their bond rippled outward, family gatherings, community involvement. Evelyn volunteered at a senior center, sharing her tale to combat isolation. Yet, challenges arose. Evelyn's health faltered, a minor fall leading to hospital stays. Alex was there, holding her hand, reminding her of their miraculous meeting. Through it all, the value shone. In a world of disconnection, a simple act of pretending could unveil truths, fostering compassion and unity. As winter approached, Evelyn sat by the fire, Alex reading from Michael's old stories they'd found in the attic. Laughter echoed, a testament to redemption. But fate had more in store. The revelation of Alex's true identity had transformed Evelyn's world from monochrome to vivid color, but shadows of the past lingered, waiting to resurface. As weeks turned into months, their relationship deepened, yet an undercurrent of unspoken regrets tugged at Evelyn's heart. One crisp autumn afternoon, while sorting through Michael's old letters in the attic, Evelyn uncovered a dusty envelope addressed to her in unfamiliar handwriting postmarked from decades ago, never opened. Her fingers trembled as she slid it open, the paper crackling like autumn leaves. Inside was a letter from a woman named Lila, claiming to be Michael's first love, revealing a child born out of wedlock, a daughter Evelyn never knew existed. He left to protect you from scandal, the letter read. But he never stopped loving you. Evelyn's breath caught, the room spinning. This twist, a hidden sibling for Alex's mother, shattered the neat narrative they'd built. She clutched the letter, tears blurring the ink, wondering how many secrets her son had buried. Alex arrived that evening, sensing her distress immediately. "Grandma, what's wrong?" he asked, kneeling beside her chair. Evelyn handed him the letter, her voice barely a whisper. "There's more to our family than we thought." As Alex read, his face paled. This wasn't just history, it was a living branch of their tree. Lila had passed away, but the daughter Alex's aunt might still be alive. The discovery injected fresh drama, forcing them to confront the complexities of forgiveness. Together, they decided to search. Alex used his tech savvy to trace records, leading to a woman named Sarah in a small town 2 states away. Sarah, now in her 60s, had grown up without knowing her father, raised by Lila in quiet resentment. The phone call was tense. "Is this Sarah Thompson?" Alex asked, his voice steady despite the knot in his stomach. On the other end, hesitation, then curiosity. Evelyn listened on speaker, her heart pounding. When Sarah agreed to meet, the journey began, a road trip that symbolized bridging divides. Evelyn, frail but determined, insisted on going. "I need to see her," she said. "For Michael." The drive was filled with stories. Evelyn recounting Michael's youthful charm, Alex sharing his own fears of legacy. They stopped at diners, laughing over pie, bonding in ways pretense never allowed. Arriving at Sarah's modest home, nerves peaked. Sarah opened the door, a mirror of Michael's features, with graying hair and wary eyes. "You're really his mother?" she asked, voice laced with doubt. Evelyn nodded, extending a photo album. "He was my boy, and you're his girl." The meeting unfolded in layers of emotion, initial awkwardness melting into shared grief. Sarah spoke of her lonely childhood, the questions unanswered. Evelyn apologized for the pain, though blameless. "I wish I'd known," she said, tears flowing. "I'd have welcomed you." Sarah's twist came subtly. She revealed letters from Michael, sent sporadically, expressing regret. "He tried to find me later, but Mom wouldn't allow it." This humanized Michael, turning him from absentee to flawed seeker. As they talked late into the night, laughter mingled with sobs. Sarah showed photos of her own children, Evelyn's great-grandchildren. The family expanded, a ripple from one birthday wish. Back home, Evelyn felt renewed purpose. She organized a family reunion, inviting Sarah and her kin. The house, once silent, overflowed with voices, children playing where Michael once did. Yet, drama simmered. Sarah's arrival stirred old wounds for Alex's mother, who felt overshadowed. "Why didn't Dad tell us?" she asked Evelyn. The confrontation was raw, but Evelyn's wisdom prevailed. Secrets fester, but truth heals. Through it, values emerged. Empathy bridging generations, kindness mending fractures. Evelyn, the anchor, taught that loneliness isn't eternal. Connections await discovery. Winter brought challenges. Evelyn's health declined, a persistent cough leading to pneumonia. Hospital visits tested the new bonds. Sarah flew in, holding vigil with Alex. "She's strong," Sarah said. "Like Dad must have been." Evelyn recovered, her spirit unbroken. She began writing her memoirs, with Alex's help, chronicling a life of quiet heroism. The process unearthed more twists, a wartime romance Evelyn had buried, adding depth to her character. One evening, as snow fell, Evelyn gathered the family. "Life's twists aren't punishments," she said. "They're invitations to grow." Her words resonated, fostering deeper understanding. Alex, inspired, proposed to his girlfriend, crediting Evelyn's influence. The wedding planning brought joy, with Evelyn designing the cake, a nod to that fateful birthday. But as spring approached, another unexpected visitor arrived, an old friend of Michael's, bearing artifacts from his later years. This man, grizzled and wise, shared tales of Michael's redemption, volunteering in shelters, helping the lost find home. The stories painted Michael as redeemed, easing Evelyn's lingering pain. "He found himself," the friend said, "but always missed you." This revelation emphasized humanity's capacity for change, reinforcing the narrative's core. Evelyn's days filled with purpose, mentoring Sarah's grandchildren, advocating for elder care. Her story spread locally, inspiring others to reach out to the isolated. In quiet reflection, Evelyn marveled at the chain, one pretend moment sparking real transformation. Alex, too, evolved from drifter to devoted family man. As summer loomed, plans for Evelyn's 91st birthday brewed not alone, but surrounded by love. Yet, the past whispered of more to come. With the family now woven tightly together, Evelyn's life pulsed with newfound vitality, but the echoes of isolation still haunted her dreams, reminding her that healing is a winding path. One rainy morning, as she sipped tea by the window, a knock echoed not the doorbell, but a firm rap that stirred unease. Opening the door, she faced a middle-aged woman with sharp features and a briefcase, a lawyer named Ms. Harlan, claiming to represent Michael's estate. "I have documents," Ms. Harlan said coolly, stepping inside uninvited. "Your son left a will, recently discovered in a safety deposit box." Evelyn's heart raced. Michael had died years ago, his affairs thought settled. The will revealed a shocking twist. Michael had amassed a modest fortune through writing unpublished manuscripts sold posthumously and left it to Evelyn, with a clause for any unknown descendants. But there was a catch, a contested claim from a distant cousin, alleging fraud. This legal drama thrust the family into turmoil, testing their fragile unity. Alex, ever the protector, dove into research, uncovering that the cousin, Victor, was an opportunistic relative who'd abandoned Michael in his final years. Evelyn, frail yet fierce, refused to back down. "This isn't about money," she declared at a family meeting. "It's about honoring his wishes." Sarah, drawing on her own resilience, offered support, her presence a balm. The courtroom loomed, a stage for human frailty. Evelyn testified, her voice steady despite age, recounting Michael's life with poignant detail. "He was lost, but he found his way back through words," she said, eyes glistening. Victor, a blustery man with greedy eyes, painted Michael as reckless. But a surprise witness emerged, the old friend from before, producing letters proving Victor's neglect. The twist turned the tide, exposing Victor's motives. The judge ruled in Evelyn's favor, the inheritance secured. More than funds, it was validation, a final gift from Michael. With the money, Evelyn established a foundation for lonely elders, funding companionship programs. "No one should celebrate alone," she said, her birthday wish manifesting broadly. Life's rhythm continued. Holidays filled with laughter, grandchildren's visits bringing chaos and joy. Evelyn mentored Alex's students via video, sharing tales of perseverance. Yet, another layer unfolded. During foundation work, Evelyn met Mr. Ellis, a widowed volunteer in his 80s, with kind eyes and a shared love of stories. Their friendship bloomed subtly, adding warmth to her days. Life surprises at every turn, Evelyn confided in Alex. Mr. Ellis's twist, he'd known Michael briefly, as a writing partner in later years. "Your son was a good man," he told her, easing residual doubts. This connection deepened Evelyn's narrative, highlighting that love endures beyond youth. Walks in the park, shared book, simple acts reigniting her spirit. Challenges persisted. Sarah's family faced financial woes, the inheritance timely aid. Evelyn's generosity fostered gratitude, strengthening bonds. As her 91st birthday neared, plans escalated a grand gathering, not pretend, but real. Alex surprised her with digitized home movies, evoking tears and laughter. In reflection, Evelyn pondered humanity's core. We are threads in a vast tapestry, connections weaving meaning from chaos. The celebration was magical. Cake, songs, toasts to resilience. Evelyn blew out candles, wishing for more time. But health faltered Aga in a heart flutter requiring surgery. Family rallied, vigils filled with stories. Post-op, Evelyn awoke to loved ones, her loneliness a distant memory. Recovery brought introspection. She wrote letters to each family member, imparting wisdom. Embrace twists, they reveal our strength. Alex, promoted in teaching, credited her influence. Sarah started a blog on family secrets, turning pain to purpose. Mr. Ellis confessed feelings, a gentle romance budding. "At our age, every moment counts," he said. Evelyn smiled, open to joy. Summer brought Travelsa family trip to Michael's grave, closure in flowers and words. Yet, whispers of more revelations lingered as an old journal surfaced. The journal, unearthed from Michael's belongings sent by the lawyer, held pages of confessions that peeled back layers of Evelyn's past, revealing truths she thought buried forever. Entries detailed Michael's guilt over leaving, but also Evelyn's own secrets. A brief affair during her husband's illness, born of despair, which Michael had discovered as a teen. "I left because I couldn't face her pain," he wrote. "But I never stopped loving." This final twist rocked Evelyn, forcing confrontation with her flaws. "I wasn't perfect," she admitted to Alex and Sarah by the fireside. Tears flowed, but forgiveness followed her own and theirs. "We're all human," Sarah said, hugging her. The revelation humanized Evelyn further, emphasizing that heroes have shadows. It deepened family empathy, turning judgment to understanding. With this closure, Evelyn's foundation thrived, partnering with communities to combat elder isolation. She spoke at events, her story inspiring donations and volunteers. Personal life flourished. Mr. Ellis proposed a companionship pact, no rings, just us, which Evelyn accepted, their days filled with quiet adventures. Grandchildren visited often, learning from her resilience. A budding writer like Michael co-authored a children's book with Evelyn about lost and found families. Challenges arose. A community crisis when funding dipped, but family rallied, hosting fundraisers. Evelyn's leadership shone, proving age no barrier to impact. As her 92nd year dawned, health stabilized, spirits soared. She traveled with Mr. Ellis to places Michael dreamed of, scattering symbolic ashes of regret. Alex's family grew a baby on the way, named after Evelyn. "Your legacy lives," he told her. In quiet moments, Evelyn reflected on that birthday, a stranger's kindness sparking a chain of miracles. It underscored life's poetry pretenses unveiling truths, loneliness yielding to love. The story's arc complete, yet open-ended, Evelyn knew more chapters awaited. "Life continues," she said, eyes twinkling. Family gatherings became tradition, each birthday a celebration of connection. Evelyn's house, once empty, overflowed with life. Mr. Ellis added humor, his tales complementing hers. Sarah's family integrated fully, holidays a blend of old and new. Through it all, values prevailed. Compassion bridges divides, twists foster growth, humanity binds us. As Evelyn closed the journal, she whispered, "Thank you, Michael." Peace settled, a fitting end to her odyssey. But in this tapestry, threads ever weave.